Hello and welcome. Today we will be explaining the rational choice theory and putting it in context of the Bouffard 2007 article titled Predicting Differences in the Perceived Relevance of Crimes, Costs and Benefits in a Test of Rational Choice Theories. The main ideas of the rational choice theory are 1. People who commit crimes vary in how they weigh costs and benefit. 2. People with less self-control are more likely to perceive lower certainty and severity of costs and care less for informal sanctions. And 3. More socially bonded people tend to fear informal sanctions more than formal sanctions. The rational choice theory is both a macro and a micro theory. It is macro in the respect that it tries to examine why some people commit crimes more than others, and micro because it focuses on individual variations while making the decision to offend. Moving on to the parsimony and scope of the theory. It is not a simple concept because of differing variations of what people perceive as benefits and cost. It is also difficult to operationalize fun, self-control, and self-centeredness. For the scope, it aims to explain most proper crime, that is, mala prohibitum, but does not account for serious crimes such as murder. The theory is logical since it states people with less self-control will probably take costs less into consideration. The theory also believes that humans are influenced by experiential encounters. The main proposition of the theory is that potential offenders considered the potential costs and benefits of a crime before they commit it. The central concepts of the theory are cost versus benefit, informal and formal sanctions, and self-control. Bouffard in 2002 revolutionized the study of individuals' hypothetical offending decisions. Bouffard realized that the set of consequences individuals developed were different than the set researchers developed, and there was individual variability in the weight put upon consequences. Major impacts of the Bouffard 2002 on the rational choice theory are: subject-generated consequences became valid data collection technique. It also showed that subject-generated consequences improve on traditional methods, and also deemed individual variation in perceived consequences as relevant. Pogarsky in 2002 showed that an individual will commit crimes if the benefits from offending outweigh the potential costs. Pogarsky further divided people into three groups of potential offenders: acute conformists that are fundamentally opposed to offending, deterrable, that is, the likelihood of offending depends on changes in certainty of punishment, and incorrigible, that is, no guilt or self-disapproval and do not care about certainty. The limitation of the 2002 study was that it did not allow would-be offenders to determine the relevancy of cost types, that is, license suspension, instead was established by researchers. In the Bouffard 2007 study, a group of 2012 male and female undergraduates was selected from a class at Midwestern University. They were given three scenarios: a shoplifting incident, a drunk driving incident, and a physical fight. This 2007 study borrowed from the Bouffard 2002 by using subject-generated consequences method. Participants were asked to rate the certainty and the severity of the self-generated consequences. The main hypotheses of the study are: younger, socially bonded groups, that is, college students, would place more emphasis on social costs and benefits in comparison to other costs and benefits. Another hypothesis is those who have engaged in offending in the past may be more likely to report emotional type benefits of the crime. The results of the current study are as follows. The three scenarios given show differing trends of formal or informal cost benefit types. In the shoplifting scenario, 89.6% of the sample said getting arrested was the greatest cost, and 63.2% said that obtaining the stolen object was the greatest benefit. In the drunk driving scenario, 93.9% of the sample said getting arrested was the greatest cost, and 52.8% said that getting home was the greatest benefit. The fighting scenario is where things start to differ, as 75.5% of the sample said that self-injury was the greatest cost, while getting arrested polled at 53.8%, and 33.5% said that deterring an aggressor was the greatest benefit. Support for the hypothesis in the study. The study states that the sample was formed of college students which were well bonded with their peers, teachers, and parents. Results show that 2/3 of the costs of offense are related to getting arrested, and 2/3 of the benefits are related to personal gain. That is, they're not socially centered. Under light of these results, it is viable to say that the first hypothesis, that college students would put more emphasis on social costs and benefits, has not been completely supported. The study also states that 45% of the sample had engaged in drunk driving without detection before, and 52.8% 8% of the sample said that getting home was the greatest benefit of this offense, which can directly be linked to a social benefit of their offense. In light of these results, the second hypothesis, that offenders who had committed crimes before would put more emphasis on social benefit, can be said to be loosely supported by the results in the study. Support for the theory at large. The results of this study lend support to the larger rational choice theory because they show that costs and benefits vary among the sample. Also, weight put on said costs and benefits varies among the sample. However, the study does not support the theory in the context that the sample still puts more weight on formal sanctions than informal sanctions. Thank you.